Hi and welcome to another video. I'm Adrian from theproductionround and today I'm going to be showing you how to get started with mixing in FL Studio. So over here I have prepared a short drop project for today's video where I've loaded all these audio files. Now all these tracks could actually be VST instruments, MIDI clips, or the audio file, which is the case here, but whichever one you have, they all need to be sent to a unique place in the mixer. I have already done that, but if you don't really know how to do it, I'll show you one of the quickest ways to do it. Just double click on the sample and you can scroll up or down. You can also drag it, just click, drag up and down, and it will be sent there. You can also press Ctrl+L and your sample or MIDI clip instrument is going to be allocated into the mixer. I have also prepared a mixed version just to compare the unmixed project that we have here with a mixed version. So this is what we need to achieve. This is the direction we are going. So I'll play it really quick for you. Right, and now I'll also play this project, the current project, which is completely unmixed, so you can see what a huge difference there is between the two versions. In the unmixed version, you can clearly see the lack of punch in the drums, how the synths and basses are fighting for space, loads of elements that are overpowered, but also some that are lost in the mix. While on the other side, in the mixed version, you could see there was more depth in the mix, more clear sounds, and also more punch on the drums. We're looking for that clarity and just a nice overall balance. But when it comes to mixing, there are hundreds, thousands ways to do it, and we are always looking for the most advanced tips, tricks, and throwing in all the crazy VSTs. But actually the key to a good mix starts all the way back to the sound writing and arrangement. You want to make sure everything is balanced, which is the first step we are going to do today, setting the right volumes for everything. Now to do that, we're going to be listening to the whole project again, and I'm going to be setting everything right. Now I have already sent these two basses here. I've already put them in a bus, so it's easier for us to do the cleaning process, also to do the effects. But this is going to be for step number 2 and step number 3 respectively. For step number 1, as I was saying, I'm going to play this whole project and I'm going to level the sound for all the samples inside. Alright, so what I've done so far, I've just tried to balance all of the elements I have in the track, and yeah, that's step number 1. Now for step number 2, this is where we start cleaning up the sounds. We'll remove the unwanted frequencies and we'll try to add some more clarity to the mix. We can start doing that, I would say, with the lead. Now, next on our list, I want to get rid of the harsh frequencies we have in those two basses. I think they have a bit of too much high end, and also we need to get rid of the low end as we have the sub to fill in that gap. Perfect. Now the basses sound way better. The bass sound is way cleaner now. Moving on to the chords. For these ones, I'm gonna play everything together because we need to get rid of some of the high end, but I don't want to get rid of too much. So I'm gonna play everything together with the other elements, and we'll see what's the right amount to cut. Now it starts to sound a bit better. Let's have a look at these chords reverse 2. Now I'm gonna try to mix together the kick and the sub. I've already put them in mono. To do that, you just go over your stereo separation option over here, click on it, and just drag your mouse all the way up, and that's it. Now, to mix the kick and sub together, because they're playing kind of similar frequencies, we don't want them to really fight for space. So I'm gonna apply an EQ on both of them and see in which area they come together. Their frequencies come really close to each other. Right, so say somewhere around 50 to 55. Now, for this track, I really want it to be more bass driven than kick driven. So I'm gonna try to focus on boosting the sub rather than boosting the kick. So I'm gonna cut in that area from 50 to 55 hertz. I'm gonna cut a bit of the kick and I'm gonna boost a bit more in the sub bass. Just gonna drag this band over here. Just adjust it to around 10, maybe 15%, up to you. And I'll leave it down somewhere to 2.5 decibels. Now for the sub, I'm gonna boost it. Same here, around 55 hertz. But instead of 2.5, I'm gonna try 1 or 1. Yeah, let's do 1.5. And let's see how they sound together now. So this is with, now this is without. With. If you're listening, especially if you're listening through headphones, you can see there's a slightly difference. There's a more cleaner sound. Now the next one I'm going to focus on is the top kick. So I'm going to cut some of the low frequencies for this one. That should do it. That's step number 2, where we just went through each track one by one and we mixed everything. And now we are ready to start adding effects to really make this mix come to life. This is the point where you need to have a bit of vision in your head, what you want your track to sound like, so you can work towards that. First thing, what I want to do definitely is add some sidechain. So we're gonna start with the bass sound. I think around 90. Sometimes you don't really need too much sidechain because it just takes away from the energy. So for the bass sound, I'm gonna keep it around this area. Let's see for the sub what we can do. Around 95% for the sub sounds like perfect. Now about the chords. Just around 80%, and finally the main synth. perfect. So everything starts to sound way better at the moment. Right, so now that we've added the sidechain, we can clearly see there are still some differences between the volume of some of the samples, some of the sounds. So we're gonna fix that. I think the sub is still too overpowered a bit. Now we can start focusing on the claps. As you can see, at the moment you really don't hear them at all. So I'm gonna add an EQ, boost the volume a bit, just up to 6 decibels. Let's see how far we got with this. Right, perfect. So we are starting to get this project to life. One thing that I've noticed, I still don't like how the top kick sounds on top of the kick. So I'm gonna add just a bit of sidechain to it. Right, so I think around 40%, this is more than enough for it. So this is what we have so far. Right, so that's pretty much it for this project. As you can see, all these steps are just one of the many ways to approach the art of mixing. Just keep in mind there are no specific rules. You can experiment as much as you like. These steps are just kind of a guide, but you are not stuck into some sort of system. You just have to figure out what works best for you, and remember that at all stages of the mix, it's really important to mix with your ears. Your ears will tell you when something actually sounds good, and just by applying effects, it doesn't mean that your sound is gonna get better. Just keep using your ears and keep judging what you are doing. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.